So you've seen me use the Aquaforest bucket them. It's just really good to always have a number of buckets around that you can really, if you have to go to the manual mode, move water. That's your pumps that you can't pump up no more. Make sure that you have a ladder. Make sure you can get to your tank and manage it manually if you have to. This is how you're moving now. Is more manual management. So I just have my water reservoir in one of the Aquaforest 5 gallon buckets, and as you know, I just use a real stainless steel spoon like this, and I sterilize. These are easy to sterilize with real hot boiling water. And once I've sterilized them, I just give the bucket a couple of spins. Like I'll do that. I know what I'm coming to do the change. I started stirring it, over the last 5 minutes. I do something, go back, stir it, stir it, and then I know it's mixed out again. Simple, I'm not running no air in it. But because I'm doing this every day, the water doesn't stay stagnant. See? And because I use a spoon with holes in it, I'm aerating it as well. So I do this every day, it keeps the water fresh, and that way I can actually have just a 5 gallon bucket like that there. And because I'm making such small changes sometimes, it doesn't really affect the tank, because that heater is proving itself now with my controller. It's getting cooler now, it's a little bit darker out now, and I had my doors open. I usually like keeping my doors open. I was starting to feel chilly, and I'm like, whoa, I feel a bit chilly. And I said, blood clot, my tank. Because I wasn't sure. I saw it was fluctuating. It doesn't hold the temperature as steady. Now for me, steady means 25.2 and don't budge. And that's something that Janet have to talk to me about. The ocean don't stay like that. There are little movements in temperature. So allow that. So when I open the door, it allows the air to breathe in the house, but it also can affect the temperature of your tank. So always be aware of that. So thankfully, I have it on a controller. The controller, yes, because of the cool air hit it. And the style of heater is now an in-tank radiating heat, versus really passing through those elements in the external one. The tank is held stably. The Exoterra 600 watt held it within 25. It's set for 25, and the lowest it dropped was 24.7, and it brought it right back up to 25. So when I was 24.7 it dropped to, and then it brought it back up to 25. So while I was in here feeling chilly, and then pushed the door and run and looked, and that's why I like the heads up display on that. All I had to just turn on my head and just look, and I could see the temperature of the tank reliably. I didn't have to check the apex. So I have a lot of upfront visual displays. You're going to see that that's my little reminder, because that's the glider right there, the two wings. The wooden air stones are the wings, and the smaller cube now is a little body. So this reminds me I'm gliding the tank. But yeah, so I'm gonna just do the water change now, and I wanted to sort of joke around and tell you this, because this is basically how I do it. So I have a little bucket that I can lift with my pinky finger, because I promise you this is the heaviest bucket for water change that I will ever lift again. I don't care your age, well, I do, but if you can do this, you can do a water change. Now, I don't suggest you do that, right? Hold the bucket good, please, but I was going to just demonstrate, because I'm going to just show you. All I'm going to do today is just take out 3 cups. Right, honestly, I'm going to just demonstrate it. 3 cups. One. Two. Three. Those are proper pours. So my first mistake was sort of putting it in earlier. So just be aware of that. Just pour from a distance. You sterilized it. I try to do everything to make sure that I give no opportunity for any parasites or bacteria. That's why with this system, I'll never siphon it again. No siphon is going in there. I don't want my hands to go in this tank ever again unless I absolutely have to. So that's it. Anything going in there is an object I have sterilized with hot boil. Is my kettle do this? And I boil it hot, 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 hot. And then pour it and drop it in one of my bigger pots and let it sit there for a bit. And then I take it out with a tongue, right? And it quickly cools and then I hold it. But I have also washed my hands too. I mean, you know, just be careful, and these are the standards I'm using. So now, what I'm going to show you is I've retired my magnet. I love this magnet, you know, and I'm glad now that I have it. I don't think the company exists anymore, but I'm going to put this up. I still have all of the spares for it. I haven't even used it, so it can be brand new if I need it. If I'm going to ever go, if I ever have to, if I lose control of this, I have the brand new pads for both sides. And that's what I would use. I would never put this back into that tank. I would have to take this off and use a brand new pads so I don't risk scratching the glass, but I don't think I'll ever use it again. Because how I plan to fight algae is very simple. I'm going to have different methods and screens to block out the tank, depending on the severity of where it is. So when I want to create a gloomy day, and I say, okay, I see some algae growing along the glass here, and I've been doing some biological water exchange that's not coming it down, then just blanket the tank. It might be a piece of shear, white shear, so the white is reflecting the light, you know, or if things get out of control, I can't see how that could happen because of how I manage the tank every day and I'm seeing every detail. And this is what helps. This is how you do this style. It's very hands-on, but limited time. It don't take you more than 15 minutes. Take out 3, right? Still high. Yes, I did. Good. So let's jump back to it now. And then, because it's a tank water, I don't want business going into lie. It gives a little sterilization again. That's why I have the hot kettle. And then I put it into my reservoir. Maybe I can see the steam coming off of it. Yeah. And then once I give that a good hot water rinse, and then I just take it up. Not much water in here. Same amount I take out, I just pour into the tank. 1. Now I'm going to show you something. 2. And 3, I take a little bit first. And here's why. I am now going to add all my bacteria to this cup. Just a little bit here, and I'm going to stir the blend of bacteria up, and then I'm going to pour it in, and then I'll take my final scoop and pour in. Follow me? Within a few seconds, all of that bacteria is all over that tank. The way the wave pump is moving it. And that's how I add the blend. So I'm going to probably try and turn the camera around, or maybe I won't. But the mix today is going to be the weekly amount. So all of these bottles have their weekly maintenance amount. I am using the weekly personally. I'm not telling you to follow me, I'm saying what I'm doing to show you how I'm working with this tank. I am doing double doses, so I stepped up to the larger bottle because all of them, this one, another, let me just rest this here. I stepped up to the big bottle of the Reef FX. All the 2-liter jugs, because at this phase, I'm going to be heavily dosing all the bacteria. Yeah? Heavily dosing over the next 30 days, because that's when I'm going to launch this series, is at the end of the 30 days. And I just use right now, and that's just today. Sometimes it'll be a little bit less based on what is happening in the tank and how I feel. Did I did a little extra piece of food get away that I want to make sure I have no issues with, and I say, okay, algae and waste reducer. Okay, if not, maybe not. It might be I see ammonia creep up a little bit on the Senai. Well, how come? You know, that might mean I'm going to start dose a little bit more tank buses. Just watching the tank very closely. If you watch the tank very closely and you just do these infrequent, changing in amounts of water exchange daily, small amounts, this is what's going to keep that energy and that life in the tank. And it's going to keep the fish excited and less stressful and healthier. So that's my demonstration for today. The extra piece of glass, right? When I talked about the positive pressure cover, so simple too. And I'm going to tell you how my brain works. Because I have a couple sheets of glass, and this one was taken off the tank because it was, I didn't even clean this one off too good, but I've used it every time and time again when I'm doing different experiments. So I have it, and I have this cut out already, and this cutout was to make sure, because there are 3 sheets like this. This was cut out like this to make sure that there was always an opening, whether it was be to make sure I can vent the tank, use that section as to feed into the tank, whatever, run pipes, whatever, if I'm ever using this as a cover. So I am considering, in fact I have decided to, that I am going to actually put this piece not fully over it, but I'm going to raise it with, something simple as this. I have these things. You know the sliders they put underneath couch and those things to make them move easy? Yeah, I'm going to put it on this because you see, if I just rest it on top of the glass here, you know what surface tension feel like? Or low battery. Yeah, surface tension will make you feel like you're going to break the glass just because it's resting on top of the other one, just to pull it off. Because the water, because there's a lot of evaporation, when 2 pieces of glass, 2 planes of glass, get sandwiched with some water and air pockets, God help you if you take it off. So I'm going to just create a little riser here, so that it'll be easy, not to shift it all the way into the grooves, but to keep the air in some more and vent forcefully out in these areas and give more of an area underneath the tank for the water to exchange more with the filtered air than the vented air coming from outside in the room. So I'm going to funnel it out more and keep more of the good air in. So that's what I wanted to show you, and then we're done.